In this Maimah, the Rebbe says that when the Golus is fine, when being outside of Eretz Yisrael and not having a Beis Hamikdash is not a problem. Not a physical problem, not a financial problem, not a spiritual problem. Yiddishkeit is doing fine, you're learning, you're davening, you're serving God with all your heart, with all your soul. Everything's great. And even so, the fact that there isn't a Beis Hamikdash makes you completely zertreselt. It devastates you. So when you read that, I'm sure it's true of all of us, when we read that for the first time, when we read the Maimah, we thought, well, yeah, he's like that. The Rebbe is like that. That although the Golus can be perfect and fine, but if there isn't a Beis Hamikdash and Mashiach is still not here, it shakes him up completely. Somebody asked me, not a Lubavitcher, like, what happened to the Rebbe when the Rebbe had the stroke? Yeah, what happened to the Rebbe? And the attitude was a little distasteful. I said, this was a frum person. I said, you don't know what happened? She says, no, what happened? I said, come on. You know. She said, what do I know? So it says in the Gemara that anyone in whose lifetime Mashiach doesn't come, the Beis Hamikdash is not built, he should feel as if the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed in his lifetime. What does it feel like that the Beis Hamikdash is destroyed in your lifetime? Im eshkachech Yerushalayim. What does it say? And you all say it in the benching. Im eshkachech Yerushalayim. If I can't do anything about Yerushalayim, if Yerushalayim is not built or rebuilt, or is charav, is destroyed in my times, then what happens? Tidbak l'sheini l'chiki, which means I lose the ability to speak, and tishkach yemini, and my right side is paralyzed. So you don't know what happened to the Rebbe? But it says in the benching, in the Tillim. So when we first read the Maimah, we thought, who's the Rebbe talking about? Who gets all zertreselt over the fact that there's no Beis Hamikdash? He's talking about himself. But the Maimah goes on to say that that is the nature of every Jew. That at the core of a Jewish neshama, the fact that Mashiach is not here devastates you. You don't feel it consciously, you don't experience it consciously, but if you knew what was going on in a Jewish neshama, you would know that every Jewish neshama is shattered by the fact that there's no Beis Hamikdash or Dira B'Tachtenim. And what does it mean there's no Dira B'Tachtenim? There is some place in the world where people still don't know the Eibishter. And as long as that's going on, it shatters us. And that's our nature. How do you figure? When we say that the neshama is a little piece of God, achilak elokah mimal mamish, what does that mamish add? So we thought it's a chelek elokah mimal, and that's why on occasion it will come to the surface and you will have Mesiras Nefesh and you will die like Rabbi Akiva. Then we found that no, there's more to it than that. Because your neshama is a chelek elokah mimal, that's why giving up your life is not an occasion, that's your nature. Now we're finding out something else. The Eibishter had a taiva that he needs and wants a dira b'tachtenim. And towards that goal, we have been working for 4,000 years. To make the Eibishter a dira b'tachtenim. Through thick and thin, through fire and water, with Mesiras Nefesh, we were devoted to making him a dira b'tachtenim. That's because our neshama is a little piece of God. Alter Rebbe says it's a little piece of God, mamish. We can make the mistake of thinking a little piece of God means that we're a little bit like him. In some way, we are like him. On occasion, on some level of our neshama, we put him first, even above ourselves. Alter Rebbe says, we're not a little bit like him. We're mamish like him. Which means, the dira b'tachtenim that he created the world for, that he had a taiva for, we have the same taiva. Because we're a chelek elokah mima'al mamish.